Good morning, students. I am Dr.P.SENBAGALAKSHMI, Head and Assistant Professor of Botany, A.D.M.COLLEGE College for Women, Autonomous, Nagapattinam. Topic is algae. Introduction of algae. Algae is a Latin word. It means seaweeds. The study of algae is called algology. The person who are doing the research in the field of algae is called algalogist. Algae, it is the first plants to appear on the earth. It is various ranges from single cellular organism to multicellular organisms. The single cellular size is micrometer and nanometer size, that is called microscopic organisms. And the plant is also called non-vascular cryptogamic plants. Why it is called non-vascular cryptogamic plants? The plants does not have vascular tissues or vascular bundle in this plant system. So it is called non-vascular plants. Cryptogams means it is a non-flowering groups. It is a primitive group of organisms in the plant kingdom. So the plants are lived in and around the water. Most of the plants are aquatic organisms. Some are live in other places. The plants does not have true roots, stems, leaves, and they are not produced seeds because they are in the group of non-flowering plants. The plant body of the algae is undifferentiated structures. So the undifferentiated plant body is called thallus. In thalloid plants, there is no differentiation of plant body into true roots, true stems, and true leaves. Algae is called photoautotropic organism. Why it is called photoautotropic organism means photo means light. In the presence of light, the plants they are produce their own food material by own in the presence of chlorophyll pigments. So it is called photoautotropic organisms. Actually, it is involved in the photosynthesis using light, water and carbon dioxide, and it produces oxygen as a byproduct and also produce the different type of reserve food material. Plant, they are different habit. It ranges from fresh water, marine water, soil, lichen, some grown on the surface of other organisms. Some of the organisms are grown on the soil, land, rocks, surfaces, limestones and polar regions, etc. This algal group of containing chlorophyll pigments, and it is unicellular and multicellular sex organs. The sex organs are not protected in the sterile jacket cells. It is ecological importance of algae is it replaces the atmospheric oxygen abundantly for living organisms. Some of the algae are beneficial organisms, harmful to human, animals and our environment. And it occurs in different shapes, size and colors. We are going to see the topic range of structure in algae, types of algae. Based on the following characters, the algae are classified into different types. Namely, unicellular organisms. The unicellular organism plant body is made up of single cell and it is classified into two types, motile and non-motile. Next one is colonial form. Group of organisms are living in colonial association is called colonial form. It is also classified into two types, flagellated, non-flagellated. Next type of algae is called filamentous algae. The filamentous algae are also classified into branched and unbranched types. Next, heterotrichous type of algae. The plant body is different structures. It having trichomes and sometimes branched. Next, siphonous forms. The plant body is the central plant body is consist of hollow-like or tube-like structures. It's called a siphonous algae. And uniaxial form. Filamentous algae arises from the central single axis is called a uniaxial form. Multi-axial form means the algae or branches are formed in multi-axial types. Next, parenchymatous is the algae plant body is made up of parenchymatous, simple parenchymatous cells. That's called parenchymatous algae. Pseudoparenchymatous forms means the algae cells are look like an parenchymatous tissue. So that group of algae is called pseudoparenchymatous cells. Various forms of green algae, that is unicellular type. In unicellular type, they are classified into two types. The plant body is made up of simple plant body and it is made up of single cell. It is called unicellular organisms. The unicellular organisms are two types, motile and non-motile type. In unicellular motile type, the plant body is simplest unicellular and the plant body are in the shape rounded or pure shaped, some having two same or different type of flagella. The same type of flagella containing in the chlamydomonas, and unicellular non-motile form or coccoid form is the simplest plant body, unicellular organism, small in structure and more or less spherical or non-flagellated or non-motile plant body. Example, chlorella. Next type, filamentous algae. Here the filamentous cells are arranged upon the other to make the plant body filamentous, which may branched types. Example, cladophora. And unbranched type of filamentous forms is, example is Spirohyra. Colonial or synobium type. Algae are living in the colonial association. It is classified into two types, motile synobium type and non-motile synobium type. In motile synobium type, in this type, the unicellular cells with their flagella protrude out in embedded together in the gelatinous sheets to form a more or less rounded motile colony, that is or synobial type. Example, volvox. Next type, non-motile synobium type. In this type, the colony or synobium is consist of non-motile cells arranged in a single layer along axis. Example, Cenitesmus. Another type of non-motile synobium is the cells are arranged end to end forming a pentaconal or hexaconal meshes of net. Example, Hydrodictyon. Next type, thalloid type. In this type, the plant body is made up of parenchymatous cells like due to repeated cell division in more than one plant. Example, Alva. Cyphnoceous type. The plant body is made up of long tube-like structure is called siphonous type. Algae, the nucleus is cenocytic condition. What is mean by cenocytic? Cenocytic means the filament are separated by any cross wall or any partition. So here the cytoplasm passes through entire plant body. Here the nucleus are spreaded in the cytoplasm. So that this condition is called cenocytic conditions. The definition of cenocytic filamentous form is without partition or cell wall containing many nucleus. The plant body is branched. Example, Vaucheria. Next type is heterotrichous type of algae. Here the plant body is differentiated into prostrate system of branched filamentous growing onto the substratum. Another one is erect away from the substratum. So here two different type of plant body is present in the same plant. So that is called heterotrichous form. Example, Brachysterma ectocarpus. Next type is special or complex type. Cara, fucus, polysiphonia are the complex type of thallus structures. Pseudoparenchymatous cells. Pseudoparenchymatous algae are made up of loosely or closely arranged aggregation of numerous cells. It is intermittent. Intermittent means twisted form. It is branched filamentous that collectively from the thallus held together by the mucilages. Especially it is present in red algae. Next, Palmaria palmata. It is a parenchymatous cells, tissue-like forms such that giant help. Example, macrocystis can measure many meters in the length. It is cenocytic form of algae. Such green seaweed codium grow to fairly large sizes without forming distinct cells. Based on this habit and habitat, it is classified into two types based on their distribution. Common distribution, or another one is uncommon distribution or unusual distribution. First one is common distribution. The common distribution, the plants are grown in the all over the places. It is classified into 5 groups: aquatic plants, terrestrial plants, aerophytes, thermophytes and bryophytes. In the aquatic plants, the plants fully depend on the water, that is called aquatic plants. Example, marine algae. Terrestrial plants, it prefers lands, moist condition, rainy condition or some wet conditions. Aerophytes, plants are present in the air. The plant derives moisture and nutrient from the air and rain, that is called aerophyte. Thermophytes means it is an organism which is tolerant or thriving in high temperature, is called thermophytic plants. And cryophytes is an organism that can live in ice and snow. Uncommon distribution or special distribution, here it is classified into 7 groups: symbiotic, halophytic, lithophytic, epiphytic, epizoic, endozoic and parasitic. In uncommon distribution, the symbiotic algae it involves interaction between 2 different organisms living in closely association or close relations with each other. So it is called symbiotic organisms. Example, lichen. Next, halotype is it prefer the high salt conditions. So it is a salt tolerant plants that grows in the soil or water of high salinity. So that type of algae is called halophytic algae. Example, Avicennia, Rhizophora, etc. Next type is lithophytes. Here the plants prefer on the rock, that is called lithophytes. Next, epiphytes, any plants that grows upon another plant or object merely for physical support only, that is called epiphytes. And endozoic means living within an animal, is called endozoic. And epizoic means the algae is on other organisms, is called epizoic algae. It's parasitic algae. Here the plant that obtained all or part of its nutrition from another plant is called a parasitic plant. Based on the cell type and structure, the algae classification we can see here. Prokaryotic organisms, eukaryotic organism, and their cytoplasm, nucleus, flagella, we can go in detail. A prokaryotic cell means primitive algae. Pro means primitive, karyon means nucleus. So this group of organisms having primitive nucleus without bounded organelles. It having plasmids, mitochondria, nucleus, Golgi bodies, flagella, all important organelles are present in the cytoplasm without cell membrane. That group is called prokaryotic cells. Example, Cyanophysi. Next one is eukaryotic organism. Eu means true, karyon means nucleus. This group of organisms are having true nucleus is called eukaryotic organisms. Eukaryotic organisms have membrane bounded organelles. It having all the important organelles in their cytoplasm, but it having separate cell wall or special type of cell wall when compared to prokaryotic organisms. The cell wall is made up of cellulose, pectin, alginic acid, fucosin, silica and mucopolymerase, etc. In cytoplasm, the cytoplasm containing without cell wall bounded organelles are present. If eukaryotic organism means cell membrane bounded organelles are present in their cytoplasm with prominent nucleus is present in eukaryotic cells. In prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, some eye spots are present. Nucleus. Prokaryotic nucleus is uninucleated conditions. Some are xenocytic conditions. In eukaryotic organisms, xenocytic or separate cells. Separate cells means each cell is having separate nucleus and also having contractile vacuoles. Next type is flagella. Flagella is an important organ for locomotion. It moves from one place to another place for reproduction or food searching. So this organ, this part is present in motile organisms. If the flagella is present means that organism are called motile organism. If it is not present in the cell means it is non-motile organisms, actually without presence of flagella. Next, size of the flagella. Based on the size, it classified into two types, isocont and heterocont. Isocont means, iso means same or similar. The flagella are similar in size. Example, chlorophysi. Heterocont. Hetero means different. So, the flagella are dissimilar in size. Example, Phaeophysi and Xanthophysi members. Next, the flagella are classified into two types based on the morphological structure. It is classified into whiplash type or achromatic, and others is thin cell. It is an pneumatic cell. So, some are lacking flagella. Next type is pyrenoids. Pyrenoid is a spherical bodies are present inside the chloroplast. It is a center for starch formation, and eye spot are present in some organisms. It is a light sensitive structure present in lower organism. Based on the photosynthetic pigmentation, the algae are classified into different classes or different types. They are classified based on the F.E. Fritsch classification. He classified 11 classes based on the food material or reserve food material. Here we can see the photosynthetic pigmentation of algae. Based on the photosynthetic pigments, the pigments are classified into three types. It is a light absorbing pigments, chlorophyll, carotenoids, psychobilly proteins. Chlorophyll, they are classified into chlorophyll A, B, C, D and E. Chlorophyll A is a pigments. Chlorophyll B, C, D, E is restricted in some group of algae. Carotenoid is the pigments. It is classified into carotenes, xanthophylls, fucoxanthin, myxoxanthin, etc. Another last type of pigment is phycobilly proteins. It is classified into three groups. Phycocyanin, it is blue color, present in Cyanophysi. Phycoerythrin, red in color, it is present in Rhodophysi. Another one is allophycocyanin. You can see based on the reserve food material, the algae are classified into two types, carbohydrate and other reserve food material. In carbohydrate, based on this carbohydrate type, it is again divided into two types, true starch type or other starch type. True starch type is present in Chlorophyta and Charophyta. Other starch type is in Floridian and Myxophysian. Next type of reserve food material other than carbohydrate. Example, laminarian starch, paramylene carbohydrate, leucozine, oil, fat, sterol, pyrenol, sugars, mannitol also secreted or stored by the algae, different type of algae. Algal reproductions. The algae are reproduced by three methods: vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction. The vegetative reproductions are classified into four types. Fission. Fission means division, divided into different numbers. Next type is fragmentation, means pieces. It is pieces into small fragment or small pieces. Each pieces are developed into new algal. That type is called fragmentation. Another one is tubers. The vegetative parts produce at a period in small tuber-like structures. That tubers are developed into new algal in favorable conditions. That type of vegetative reproduction is called tubers vegetative type. Next one is budding type. Another major classification is asexual types. In asexual reproductions, does not involved in any fusion format. It produced some specialized structures. One is zoospore, another one is A planospore, and three is A kinetids. Fourth one is cyst. The zoospores is flagellated and motile spores. A planospores is thick-walled motile spores. Acinids is thick-walled non-motile spore-like structures are formed, and cyst is smooth-walled ornamental type of cyst is formed. This asexual type of reproduction involved in unfavorable conditions. Next type is sexual reproductions. The sexual reproduction means the fusion of two gametes, male and female gametes are joined together, involved in this sexual reproduction to form fertilization. In sexual reproductions, it is classified into three types: isogamous. Here the gametes flagella are similar in size. Iso means similar. Gamous means gamete, union of gametes. The union of gametes are similar in size is called isogamous. Another type is anisogamous. In anisogamous type, two gametes are there involved in this process. These two gametes are uneven size, are dissimilar in size is called anisogamous. Another type is zoogamous. Here the cells are non-motile, female and female cells, female gametes, and the smaller types, male gametes are motile gametes. Thank you.